From New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Now, here are today's Hot Talkers.
And before we get to, can we just talk about how lovely everybody looks?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
everyone
look well. We're your bookends. Anyway, I want you to say hello to comedian, TV, and radio host, a man in Gucci, Rickey Smiley. Comedian and host of the Juicy Scoop podcast, and someone I have known for too many years than we care to mention. It's Heather McDonald. And entertainment journalist and host of HQ Trivia. Give it up for a woman in pink, Sharon Carpenter. Okay, we have so much to talk about, so let's get started right now with Hot Topics.
Let's go.
Woo, okay. Sadly, today we are pretty much starting with a horrific story involving Empire star Jussie Smollett. For those of you that have not heard, according to police reports, Jussie walked out of his Chicago apartment at 2 a.m. yesterday morning. Two white men in ski masks brutally attacked him, calling him the F word and the N word. Reportedly, they fractured his rib, put a noose around his neck, and poured bleach on him. Pretty awful. Thankfully, however, Jussie was released from the hospital and is said to be listed in good condition.
Thank goodness.
First of all of our love sent to him. May you get better quickly. May our love and hearts and prayers are with you.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
It's so terrifying because you don't know what was going through his head when this was happening, and he might have thought this was his last moment. So totally terrifying. And it's, a crazy story because then there were letters that came out that were sent, threatening letters about him to the production company. And so that's very disturbing. So I feel like this was very
sent earlier.
Earlier, yes. So I'm really afraid that this is a much bigger operation than two people. And that's what's so terrifying about today is that with the internet, good people can find each other. We can find how to help charities. And then very hateful people have a way of all finding each other and coming together and doing horrible things.
Yeah, what's terrible is I feel like we're living in the 60s and the 50s again. And you have racism is real in this country. And you would have thought that having...
More than ever, it seems like.
We pretty much thought racism had come a long way when President Barack Obama was president.
But by the way, it had.
Yeah, it had, but
we're going backwards
then the
again.
hatred. So if you really want to get into that, you want to build a wall for somebody, build a wall for some of the white nationalists and supremacists in this country, and keep them out because they making racism okay again. You know.
And this certainly seems like a hate crime. Hopefully when they find these two men, and hopefully they do soon, they'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent. I actually had the pleasure of working with Jussie Smollett on Empire. I did a scene with him. I made a cameo. He was the loveliest guy. He was so sweet, made me feel so comfortable. I was the only non-actor there, and I was just so shocked and saddened to hear about this. Now, apparently there was a meeting on the Empire set because they're still shooting a few more episodes of the next season. Everyone shocked and shaken up as we are, you can only imagine. So they're talking about beefing up security now, which it sounds like that needs to be in place. And they probably need bodyguards, even when they're out and about.
This is essentially terrorism, and you wonder how deep it goes, these hateful groups that get together, or hopefully it's just two people, but that's what I'm afraid of, that it's going to go a lot deeper.
Thank you for calling it terrorism because the media does not.
It is.
It is. It's domestic terrorism.
Absolutely.
And I have to tell you, I have a son who is a senior in high school. And I often think to myself, and my mom and I used to talk about this, which is, how do I raise him in a world where hate is no longer an undercurrent? It is right there in all of our
In your
faces,
face.
all of the time. What do you even say? How do you explain this? And my son has taken a class this year, actually, that he was in civil rights. So I'm doing everything I can, and I know his school is doing everything they can to make these kids aware.
Yeah.
Right.
But how do you explain that this is where our world is? How do you do that anymore?
It's just, there's horrible people, but we also need to focus on the really great people that come out and support and do things for other people and reach out. But the world has always had horrible, hateful, murderous, awful people. And they're just more, we're just able to hear about them because of the internet and the way that they can get, publicity. And that's what's really disturbing. They used to have a harder time finding each other.
Yeah, now with social media, it's everywhere. Yeah, in our faces. Now, Heather, you mentioned that letter that was sent to Fox in Chicago 8 days before this attack. That grapejuice.net actually posted that letter up, and I think we have that to show. Yep. Cut out letters right there.
So hopefully
threatening letter to Jussie Smollett.
Hopefully that'll have a lot of evidence that they'll be able to figure out whether it be DNA or where the letter came from or something, because we really need to find these people.
One of the things you and I were discussing earlier is clearly anyone who lives with this kind of hate is not terribly bright. And I watch and have watched a lot of Law and Order and CSI, and I know
So you figured it out.
that if you're licking the stamp, it's got your DNA.
Yeah.
So I think we've established the IQ of these folks.
The problem is they watch it as well, so I'm sure they didn't lick the
I'm thinking these guys are not bright enough to not be licking the
Also,
stamp.
what's great is using the mail will give them another charge.
That's a federal crime.
If they can find the Unabomber, they can find them.
Let's hope.
And I just want to make the point that Jussie, in his role as Jamal Lyon and Lee Daniels in creating Empire in the first place, has pushed us towards a place of more tolerance, especially in the hip-hop community and just in mainstream America. So it's, especially sad to hear about something
And
like
sadly,
this.
that's what pisses off people the most.
Yeah.
Is that the world is changing. I don't want it to change. Well, go away.
Well,
it's changing, thank goodness.
Ignorance.
Let's stay on Empire, however, but we're going to move to sort of the shallow end of the pool.
Yes.
On a much lighter note, of course. Jussie's TV mom, Taraji P. Henson, we love her. She said she knows why men and women have a hard time communicating.
What?
It is because, according to her, women have more words than men. Men apparently literally run out of things to say. And Taraji says she learned this during her pre-wedding therapy sessions with her fiance, Kelvin. And I gotta say, Kelvin, I'm apologizing in advance. You got a hard road on this one.
We're both boy moms, and I have two boys, and I remember when I was going through parenting classes, they said, well, boys learn differently than girls. They have to be fed every 2 hours. They have to have water. They have to get up and run around, and they actually hear better in one ear. So you have to tell them, and if you're talking to them, they'll get distracted. They're better if you're talking in their ear. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these tips are amazing for my husband.
Yeah,
because they never change.
I love that you took parenting classes. I apparently missed that day.
I do think that men have a lot of words. It depends what they're talking about.
Yes.
I've had male friends that
there you go.
I've been on the phone for hours. I put the phone down 15 minutes. I come back, they're still there rambling on about work or
But I think
girls or
it's
whatever it is.
let's ask you, is it the
The
same
relationships
word
is the
over and over
issue.
again?
If you get to arguing with a woman nowadays or whatever, you have to get on Google quick because they come with some words.
Right.
And
Or I always say,
that mixed with the
You
hand
need
tap,
Google
first of all.
Translate,
my son is just out of the phase of only communicating in grunts, eye rolls, and comes out of his room not just to eat.
Yeah, but what you have to remember, ladies, less is more. Men we have a very short attention span. We have ADD and ADHD.
Yes.
We take Adderall. We have to have coffee, all of that stuff. So keep it keep it short.
When in doubt, just speak into like the Apple translator. Like, could you speak into this so I understand what you're saying?
It's funny because with my husband, I realized that if I text it, he'll comprehend it better. When I start talking,
not read it. Better not read it.
But we will not read anything longer than one paragraph.
Right.
If that.
We will not.
If that.
We like we look at it, we be like, oh.
Wait, there's nothing like looking back at your text messages with your husband, and I'm like writing. It's like thing of blue, thing of thing, and then it's just like okay, thing of blue, like everything I'm talking.
But even more so, I think relationships. Men are just allergic to speaking about relationships. At the end of the day, they're taught to not speak about their problems and their feelings and delve deep. I think women, you do, or you don't. It makes you uncomfortable.
I'm deeply into my feelings when I'm in a relationship. I believe in slow dance, and I believe in listening to Air Supply. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you.
Do you speak this?
Absolutely.
You speak this out loud? You do.
I write poems, and so my poems don't rhyme, but I write poems or whatever. I believe in love.
Someone's very
Looking
lucky.
you into your eye and
I like
telling you
that.
how much I love you and how beautiful you are.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about potential relationships.
Okay.
Rumors are flying around that 50-year-old Celine Dion is dating her 34-year-old backup dancer.
Woo!
But
And he's cute, by the way.
Celine saying, hold your applause. Hold your applause. There's an asterisk on this one. Celine is saying the rumors aren't true. She is saying backup dancer Pepe Munoz is her best friend, and if anyone thinks they're dating, she doesn't mind because he's handsome. So Celine's husband...
Listen, you're not hanging out with nobody for 3 years that's handsome if he's not...
Well, no. Her husband passed away 3 years ago, Rene, and that was the only man she had ever kissed. And we want to see... Okay, before I ask if we want to see her in love again, let's just go to Jennifer Lopez married Chris Judd, one of her backup dancers.
Mariah
Carey's hanging out with her backup dancers.
It's a good rebound, the backup dancer.
So there is
That
precedent.
physique does not
There is
hurt.
precedent that the backup dancers have an inside track.
There's also precedence that it doesn't work out. Brittany and Kay said, but that's okay. They got two cute babies out of it.
Oh, I forgot about
But
that.
I have been predicting that this would be the year for Celine to have some fun. It's been 3 years, and I can see her. She's back in Vegas.
Yes.
And a lot of people say that I resemble Celine.
You do.
I do resemble. So I like to do a little Celine.
bit.
So this is Celine's statement.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but I'm in Vegas. I'm having some fun. I've got my dancers, I've got my musicians, my boys are getting older. Woohoo! Like,
Totally.
ready. Totally. Whether it's a dancer or like a cello player.
You thought it was someone from her
I thought
orchestra.
it would be someone like a little less cliche than the dancer, but I knew it'd be someone younger, and I want her to have fun, and I do think it's this time in her life, and she said it's a new chapter for me. So I think she just doesn't want to reveal that it's a relationship in respect for maybe him and her children.
I feel like she could have friend-zoned him, though, because I've had best friends who are very good-looking guys, and I've been very affectionate towards them and vice versa. But once someone's in the friend zone, they're in the friend zone. So I wouldn't be surprised.
That's not true.
Yeah, just
That's
because
not
he's
true.
cute doesn't mean that's her type. And her husband was a very different type of a man.
Which is why I think
yes.
she's going to go complete opposite.
Yeah.
Now, I'm 50, and I date a woman that's 34, and everybody at church called me R. Kelly, so I'm like...
But here's the other thing. I think she does have a couple of young kids. She has 2 8-year-olds. She has a 14-year-old as well. So maybe she doesn't want to tell the world yet, because you've got to talk to the kids first, right? Make sure they're comfortable with it.
Oh, please. Mama's got to have fun.
Absolutely.
Mama's got to have
My
fun.
kids are older. I'm not talking to my kids about anything. My youngest 2 children are 17, and if they happen to pass somebody in the hallway of the house, I just do a little intro, they grown or whatever, they're good. They'll be 18 next year, so we good.
But do you give like, Dad? Like, Dad?
Yeah, my daughter that's a senior at Tennessee State University, she always giving me thumbs. She always hyping me up to someone. She's trying to push me to love, so, you know,
But
she's
before
my
you
support
reveal it to the world, though, you'll talk to the kids, right?
system.
Yeah,
them an
you introduce them to
explanation.
the
No, that's
kids.
my house. I pay the bills.
3 years years is a good amount of time.
And respectable.
Respectfully,
Yeah.
and he was sick for a long time. And like, really, Celine, like, get out there and have some fun.
But they do look enamored. I love my. You've seen the photos. They do look enamored with each other. They do. It might be the look of love.
The test is going to be, because she is a big golfer, if we see him out golfing with her.
That's going to be the
That's going to be the
deal.
protector. That's going to be the predictor, the protector, all of it. Anyway.
If you can get it in the hole or not.
I'm talking about golf. Sick minds. Sick minds. Up next, more juicy hot topics, so grab a snack and come on back. We are back. I am so excited about this next topic. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra just had another wedding celebration. Okay.
What's wrong?
Okay, I need to stretch a little for this one. All right. They celebrated this time in North Carolina with friends and family at the Jonas Family Restaurant. Now let's just review. They first tied the knot December 1st in India and had a Hindu ceremony the following day. Then they had another reception in India December 4th and 2 more celebrations December 19th and 20th.
Woo.
Too much?
Way too much.
Yes.
It's becoming annoying at this point. It's been going on for 2 months.
It is.
They've been on their honeymoon and then went back for another wedding ceremony.
Right.
This is
Who's paying for all of
I have
this?
some basic
Exactly.
questions.
Yes.
And maybe, number one, traditionally, the bride's family pays. So, I know Priyanka's a huge star here and in India. She's a big producer in India. She's basically a money-making machine in India. There's got to be trade-outs.
No,
there has got to be. Like my dress, hashtag Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be trade-outs going on.
I love
to wear these things.
I love weddings. I love an open bar. I love past apps. I like getting ready at noon. I like
open
being
bar
drunk
is
by
key.
5.
Yes.
My dream is to go to a 5-day Indian wedding. So anyone that would like to invite me, I'm ready to go. And they had all those dates in December. Now they've got the January. I am available for February.
do you have to bring a
In my family, it's a GoFundMe.
Okay, but do you have an etiquette question? Etiquette question.
Right.
I've already sent an engagement gift. Am I responsible for a gift at each wedding? Thank you, because I'm like, now it's costing me money.
Wedding. Who would even want to go to each wedding? I know there's a lot of publicity. It's very glamorous, but after the first time around,
I'm gonna give you 2 Walmart and 1 Target card, and y'all can just...
I'm just worried about, already stars have this like higher level to live up to as far as like the perfect couple. And then to have so many celebrations about your wedding, that's what I'm worried about, is that they're putting themselves in a position that, you know, God forbid it doesn't work out. It's going to be even even that much more pressure because they had all these weddings.
They've thrown down the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah. The thing is, if you want to continue doing this, make it a small, private celebration instead of a huge, big deal with signs everywhere and the press everywhere.
Or if it don't work out, you have to have 3 divorces.
Yeah.
You do 3 weddings, you do 3 divorces.
Yeah, that is going to be a hell of a fight over the Cuisinart.
But I will say one thing that I do like, I'm half Indian, the fact that Priyanka is helping to bring so much attention to Indian culture, which is very elusive here in the US. So now, you know, we're seeing it going into the mainstream more and more. So I like that.
Wasn't the ceremony that was covered in People and Us and TMZ, it was the big first one that was like a 3-day before we even got to the other, wasn't that one enough attention? And by the way, it was spectacular.
A lot of attention.
But I think this one, though, just in all joking aside, I think this is for maybe some of his older relatives.
It's promoting the restaurant.
Right. So it promotes the restaurant, but it's also for grandma that didn't go to India. And she's like, I've seen the wedding all over. I would like to have,
something tells me Granny went to India.
I'd like to have some
curry. They still had a ton of guests there. It was still a big blowout celebration. So tone it down a little bit.
The whole thing found the
But it's not so bad because as black people, we go to church every day. Monday we have Bible study. Tuesday we have choir rehearsal. Wednesday we have a funeral. Then we have to go to the funeral home. Then we have repast. So, you know.
But don't they have jobs? Like, what happened to your acting career, your music career? Don't you have a job to get back to? All this celebrating
being a professional bride.
Okay, well,
if you don't want to go, this is my thing about weddings. Don't bitch about it afterwards. Just decline. Like, if you really don't want to go, don't go.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, well, I appreciate what they've done. I wish them the best. I have found the whole thing exhausting. However, let's stay with the wedding newlywed theme. There's more drama for the royal family. Ooh. Insiders claiming Harry's changed since he married Meghan. They claim they're both very high maintenance and Meghan's demands are out of control. Now, they've also said Harry used to be down to earth, but now he's grumpy and disconnected from his staff's inner circle. Let me just, first of all, this is a common problem, which is weird because royals are not common. Anyway, the idea, every guy has gone through all of their friends bitching, going, it's not the same. Oh my God, he's got no time for us anymore.
He's not at the clubs with us anymore.
I can't believe you don't want to go out. No, you're now married and you have responsibilities and your wife will kick your ass.
Yeah.
The thing is, the high maintenance thing, that just comes along with being a prince, right? You're a royal, you're going to be high maintenance. If the biggest problem here is he's a little grumpy now and a little aloof, that's not really an issue.
And anyone who has lived with a pregnant woman has every right to be grumpy.
That's the thing. She's probably got her cravings. He's running around getting her bacon ice cream. But he's a married man now. Like,
happy
he's in a
wife,
serious
happy life.
position.
Yes.
Exactly.
Happy wife,
exactly.
happy life.
He went from the bachelor, the most eligible bachelor in the world, hot tubs, naked, with a bunch of, hot chicks, and now he's a married man with all eyes on him.
All the way
in a
up
serious
here.
position. And he's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
this is not the first report that it's all Meghan's fault. That she's not getting along with sister-in-law Kate, that she's, picky to the staff or whatever. Look, mean to her family, that horrible half-sister that keeps coming around. Go away, all right? They don't
when
get
she shows
along.
up and, like, knocks on the door.
Showing up in
It's like
England
an
all the
episode
time.
of Love and Hip Hop going on here with the royals.
I just think that, unfortunately, she did sign up for this. This is going to be tabloid news until Prince George and Charlotte and now her baby, but until they're like 25 and dating, they're going to be the story forever. And I also think when you're a couple and, whether it's, you're rich enough to have a domestic staff or it's even a business that maybe your husband gets involved in or your wife gets involved in, they do start to go, wait a minute, what's this person doing? Maybe we could ask them to also do this. And then it's like, well, it was a lot easier when it was just Harry and I chilling in the house and now she's coming around. So it's like.
But also, anyone who is built up to the heights they've been, people love to then take them down.
Yeah, and
We've all seen this one coming.
Exactly.
This is predictable.
He's also trying to carve out his own legacy, Harry is, because, let's face it, he's never going to be king. William is. He's second in line to the throne. Harry's like sixth in line to the throne. So he's trying to figure out where does he fit into all of this. It's a serious task. And he's changed.
I think they're both sitting back, like, laughing about it. And I think she and Kate probably get along great. They didn't want to live in the same house together. She wanted her own house. Maybe she wants, the staff to change up a little bit. That happens in every marriage.
Yes.
But you're not the princess. And everybody's just... And someone else said the other day, why is she always holding her stomach? Let her do what she wants. She's pregnant. She wants to hold her stomach.
I didn't walk around clasping my belly. I often thought when this was done, I could put a drink on it. And I thought that would be inappropriate while pregnant.
Yeah.
But I thought after, when we still had that, I'm like, oh, look, drink holder.
But she's gonna be criticized. Anything that she do, if she sneezes, is gonna be in the tabloids. So I think that they've been really unfair to her. I personally love her, and I wish them the best.
And she's American. She's American. So they always have that to go out.
But at the end of the day, they are so private, so this is really the most we're going to get. The gossip isn't that juicy at the end of the day.
How are they going to find out who does it? You know how stars will find out who in their glam squad is leaking it, so they'll start telling lies and they find out. Yeah, who is she going to start being having some tea and then just saying some made up story, and then if it's on Us Weekly, she's like, I knew it was butler number 4.
Not dresser number 6.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man. Listen, hey, we loved our first guest in movies like How to Be a Player, Love Jones, Def Comedy Jam. He also a stand-up comedian, one of the funniest in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up. Show your love right now for one of my mentors, one of my idols, Bill Bellamy. got to get the shoe cam. Shoe cam.
Yeah, yeah. Boot gang, boot gang.
Shoe cam. Hey! All right, I got to get some shoe cam too now.
You give me some. Let me see.
I got the.
No. Boy, you blinding me. That boy got them little twinkle feet. I like that. That look nice. That's fly.
You click your heels together.
Click your heels, bro.
Yeah, click your heels together, end up in the hood.
They work backwards. You click your heels, you go right in the hood. You be like, what? Where's Dorothy? Where's Dorothy?
So, wait a minute. So I'm gonna let Bill Bellamy lay out. It's been okay. I did the math.
Okay.
It's been 25 years.
Yes, it is.
We did it. In 25 years. We did an episode of HBO's Def Comedy Jam. Same episode together.
Yes, sir.
And how did we meet, Bill Bellamy?
This is a funny story. So, I'm getting off the tour bus, right?
In Birmingham.
In Birmingham, and this guy who weighed about 82 pounds. He said, excuse me, man. Hey, man, I'm a comedian. My name Rickey Smiley. I got this tape, and it was crazy. He had like, it's VHS. It was like, the paper was ripped off, and he was like, this is my tape, my stand-up. I got like 6 minutes. 3 of them is real good. 3 of them is real good. Can you show this to Bob Sumner? And I said, yeah, I'll show it to, because you know now somebody could send you a link.
Right.
But it was weird because the tape was real. Oh, I thought it was like soap operas on there too. No. But I took the tape. I took the tape to Bob. I said, Bob, this kid is so cool, man. He seems so honest and real. I said, we should check out the tape. We watched it. He was so funny. And the rest is history. It's out there. Yeah.
Nice to you. All right. We love Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy still cool, right?
Thank you.
Still cool.
Thank you.
Trying to be like you when I grew up. All right. So we're talking about hot topics.
Hot topics.
A lot of stuff to do. So
Okay.
we got this stuff. Do you think that Kanye is gonna go after the game for his lyrics? Did you hear the lyrics?
I heard.
Everybody heard the lyrics, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. It was a bit much. I don't think Kanye going after the game. You know, that's a big go after. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you know, Kanye kind of know who to mess with.
Right.
You know what I mean? He play crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he'll be like, nah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm all right.
Hey, Bill. Cause we saw the game beat up a dude with one hand while filming it with the other hand.
Yeah.
So you don't
Kanye.
want that.
Plus, you just can't let Kanye go out no more like he used to. Remember back in the day, like, don't it seem like whenever Kanye go out, somebody got to say, where you going? Where you going? Put on your shoes, go with Kanye. Put your shoes on. Don't let him go out there by himself. Don't let him go out there.
Right.
Call that number on his backpack. Call that number and tell him mama coming.
All right.
I'm stupid.
Y'all should be at my house when he comes over for dinner.
All we do is crack jokes
we sit
and
there
laugh
for
all
5
day.
hours. My mama down there official, stop all that cussing. Okay, remember that. All right. So, would you ever talk about your ex on stage?
Nah. I think, you know, especially for me, I just think there's privacy. You know, that's against code for guys to be bringing up their girls. And
Right.
That's nobody's business, especially now if they're married.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now they got their family and stuff. It's in poor taste.
Right. All right. So
It's not gentleman-like.
All right. So now Monique, you know, she recently called out Whoopi Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
She called Whoopi Goldberg the help.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, let's just start it.
Jesus.
Like you can't talk about Whoopi.
No, you know, it's
she
certain
was
people.
Celie from The Color Purple.
Yeah,
Let's
you
start
can't
there.
even do that.
Yeah.
Like there's certain people like Whoopi, like Oprah, Obama, Michelle. They off limits. Like you can't even have a conflict. Off limits. Ain't nothing to talk about. That's like your grandmama. You cannot fight with your grandmama. Whatever grandmama say, you be like, grandmama say we can't go. You know, whatever.
Right.
It seemed like Whoopi, Oprah, if you just mess with them, your power go out in your house or something, you know?
Right. Your dryer stopped
Don't they
working.
sound like they like connected or something? Like,
Right.
Your sprinkler system was shut down.
It's blasphemy.
Yeah, it's blasphemy.
It's blasphemy. All right, so we heard you had an issue with Madonna.
Yeah, I wanted to share this with y'all. I just came up on my feed.
I'm sorry.
You know, I'm on Instagram just like everybody else, and I saw that Madonna looked like she got a new booty, right?
Right.
Did you see that? Did you see that?
She been to Atlanta. She been to Atlanta.
I mean, I'm just now y'all looking at what I'm looking at.
What was that look again? We said.
Like, you got to take that booty back. That booty got to go back. That ain't.
Look one more. Do the look one more time from the side.
I mean, it didn't. Look at it. It don't look like it move or nothing.
Yeah.
Like when she sit down, she be on a chair like this.
Right. So Bill, they interviewed. So no, the real
I'm
talk.
sorry, Madonna.
Yeah. So they interviewed. So they interviewed Madonna's booty on XM, and
They interviewed the booty?
They interviewed the booty had its own separate interview. What did the booty say?
Booty said, I'm going back. I'm going back. This don't feel right. That's what the booty said. This don't feel right. I'm supposed to have more space. What is wrong with me? Let me stop. Madonna gonna send the goons for me. So you was talking about Madonna booty?
Oh, bro, you got me crying.
Okay.
I don't know why they picked me to.
I don't know.
Why you have tears in your eyes?
Because you making me laugh. Because, you know, I saw her face when she looked at Madonna's booty. She was like, no. No, that's like your auntie getting a new booty. You be like, auntie, what you doing?
Right. You can't do that.
Like, girl, I went to the club. I'm trying to turn up.
All right, so I will never interview again.
Don't do it.
Never,
Don't do it.
Never. It's worse on my radio show. So
Okay.
I hear you going to Atlanta for the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Tell us
Yes.
about it. Yeah.
It's gonna be a good time, you know. Atlanta has the new Mercedes-Benz, stadium. It's going to be outstanding. 2 great teams. But the energy of the Super Bowl, I don't know if you've ever been to a Super Bowl before, it's really, really incredible because people are coming from all over the country for the game. And then there's so many things going on outside the game before the game even starts.
Oh, yes.
It's basically like a super duper like pep rally.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then it's Atlanta, so no one's going to be there for the game because
Right.
they're going to be in a strip club.
Yeah. Right.
They're going to forget it's the game.
So where would Madonna's booty be?
It is not gonna be in the strip club. Madonna booty gonna be in the case because she's taking it back.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Bill Bellamy, man. Hey, listen. So Bill Bellamy is performing at the Atlanta Comedy Theater on Thursday and Friday. So make sure y'all check him out. Bill Bellamy, y'all.